Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of 2020. I am your boy, Armond Anderson-Bell. This is Agree to Disagree Talk.
Oh, yeah. Like I said before, it's your boy, Charles J. Johnson. And we back. Ready for y'all to go at my head again. As if I care. But let's go.
So we are going to do like we do every show for the past 13 episodes and get this disclaimer out. Sorry, y'all, we got this technical stuff going on. So this show is geared towards the educating and empowering, as well as the implementation of voices, thoughts, and point of views from whom by society and sometimes self-standards way of thinking are oftentimes misheard, misunderstood, and badly misrepresented. By no means does this show wish to offend anyone outside the black male perspective. That be me, that be he, that be we. Nor do we wish to speak for our guests when we have them or anyone other than ourselves. We wish to raise attention of this through our controversial topics of discussion. We wish to change the perception from an us versus them and a me against the world attitude towards level of self-awareness, self-evolution, and self-accountability in the hopes of making it a better world and place for us all to live. Yeah, got that out the way. Ooh.
Normally he would say, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
this is Agree to Disagree Talk, episode 13.
Yes.
And let me just put this out there. If I sound a little weird, it's because I'm trying to get rid of this little sickness, this little bug. I don't know what it is, but something came upon me last night or a couple of days ago. I don't know when it came, but it needs to go. But
you want to call it out?
No, It has chemicals in it. Thank you. And yeah, thanks for asking.
So, Mr. Jake, this is the first show of the year. We also have some information for you guys at the end of the show. Also, give us a call. Our call number is, Mr. Jake, give them that number.
323-577-7630. The number is 323-577-7630. You feel like going at my head about what I'm probably going to say today? I have no clue. What I'm going to say just come out as it comes. I do not rehearse this. It just comes. Okay? Naturally. So the number again, if you want to call in and go at me or Armond, 323-577-7630. What's up?
Well, you can introduce us since this is one of the topics on your wall and brought up. And I think it's a good discussion because it's something that needs to be addressed or either brought to the attention of both genders.
Well, so, I really don't even remember when it came up or even what it was outside of like skimming through what you texted me. So like I was driving and trying to read at the same time. So
tonight's base topic, we will talk about other stuff or we'll shift it however the conversation goes. But you, sir, had put on your page, why do women feel that it's okay to say what a man is and what a man isn't?
Oh, no. It's not what I said.
Okay.
Here's what I said. I remember. I forgot about that. Matter of fact, let me read it. No, I don't feel like reading it. But I said, I just feel like going back to it. I said, why is it okay for a woman to tell us or to say what a real man is, but it's not okay for men to say what a real woman is?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to repeat that.
Yes.
Why is it okay for women to say what a real man is, but it's not okay for men to say what a real woman is?
Right. Ooh. And I wanted to make it as well as plain as clear. As a same-sex attracted men, why is it okay for other black men to tell us that we're not men? And so I always try to bring the conversation to, duality and things like that. But then also, I don't hear too many men telling women what's a real woman. Well, no, actually,
I'm about to say all day.
Right, I was about to say, yeah. There are instances where a man has told a woman because she doesn't do X, Y, and Z, she's not a real woman. And so I think in 2020, all that needs to stop because, again, as we go back, we were always talking about gender identity, things like that. We now need to discuss what it means for gender roles, what a real man and a real woman is individually.
No, I've never, I'm not going to say I've never, probably a couple of times, but I've heard more women say what, like the way you flip the topic, I heard more women ask the question versus men.
Right. I have too. I've seen other people in other groups of mine. And the funny thing is, it's always no accountability because they list off this whole thing. Oh, if you're a real man, you be doing X, Y, Z, cooking. And I mean, as far as what they think a man does, my stance on being neutral is, what are we bringing to the table?
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, that's what I'm talking about.
No. What I was saying is, because you said, why is it okay for straight black men to say if a gay black man is a man or not? Is that what you said?
I was adding on to that.
Right, but is that how you put it?
Yeah.
What I was saying is, I heard more women say if a gay black man is a man versus.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I probably can't articulate it right now, but you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. And I'm telling you, I get it all the time. I've seen even some of your friends put up memes or say something. If a man is doing this, he's not a man. So it is something that has always bothered me. Even before I came out as same-sex attracted, the whole hyper-masculine thing, what a real man is. Because, again, I'm from the South Central LA. And so there was this whole preset notion of back in the late 80s, early 90s, if you wasn't thugging, you was gangster, you was going to be some kind of ball player. That was your only way out of the hood. And so I've always had that geared towards me. I wasn't man enough. I wasn't black enough. And again, this was way before I even came out of the closet. So why is it okay for another person? And and the funny thing is, and we're just going to keep it close to home because we're only talking about what we know. It's only blacks and Latinos, and I
don't see white people doing that.
Yeah, I don't see whites.
I don't see Latinos doing it. I don't see black people doing it.
There's if I'm not mistaken, Latinos it's the machismo thing, and again, as a same-sex attracted black man who have friends who are Latino and Blatino, things like that, it's always you have to rock the machismo thing and things like that. So it's always been an emphasis on being hyper masculine in the same-sex attracted. But again, I brought that conversation up so that way we can do a duality on, why is it men and women saying that to each other? But then I get it a lot from black men saying that I'm not man enough or the things that was going on.
Okay. So, I really do want to hear from a few of y'all. I see the ones that are that's tuned in right now. I know some of y'all got some good takes on this.
Yes, Kira, we are asking, why is this? And I would love to hear, your side of it on both aspects too.
Touche. Now, the way I feel about it, is, I don't know what made me ask the question for one. I already know, it come to my head, I posted, then I just did with the backlash, if any. But, I just see a lot of women saying, a man gotta be this, he gotta do that. He gotta work. He gotta. Man, look, I'm gonna tell you.
Yes, please do.
We're gonna read that too. I'm gonna tell you. Here's my problem with women and your community. Mm-hmm. Everybody want equality until equality is given. What do you mean by that, Jake? I'm glad you asked.
Wait, did you say my community?
Yes, your community as well.
Okay.
Gotta ruffle some buttons. Hey.
I'm gonna let you at the comma before I get your period.
There we go. There we go. Everybody want equality until equality is given. And what I mean by that is, I can't really think of any examples off top, so I'm gonna just say, if I ask a woman, no, let's just go straight to the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
Let's just go to
that. Hello, everyone. Again, sorry to cut your cough off, but give us a call, 323-577-7630. I will tell you from my perspective, whether it's because I'll first speak to women telling men they're not real men and men telling another woman. When that conversation comes up, it shows me that there is a lack of accountability, and that there are some women who are preset to think that I need to receive, and if I'm not receiving, then that is not a man. I don't see too many men saying that to women if they don't do X, Y, and Z. What I see a lot of times, and I've seen other posts on Facebook, a woman will say, if he's not giving me a bag, if he's not getting my nails done, if he's not getting my hair done, then he's not a real man.
You were trying.
And my thing, why are you not getting your bag yourself? Why is it someone else's responsibility to do for you? I've always come to the same, maybe that's the reason why I'm still single, is that you can't ask somebody to bring something to the table if you can't provide that same thing to your table.
That's what I was just about to say.
And I see gay men the same way. You have to be X, Y, and Z. You have to have six figures. You have to have a six-pack. You have to do all these things. When the person who is asking these things have not looked in the same mirror, because if that mirror was turned around, they, we, us, whoever may not be able to date our own selves. And so we need to stop this shit. It's 2020. I'm not asking somebody to do more for me than I can do for myself.
Yo, I mean, if I heard him say if he ain't got a car, if he ain't got his own place, if he got a roommate, if you got a roommate, you and your roommate share a car, and you don't have a job, how can you expect? I ain't saying me. I'm very well. I'm on my own. I have no family here. But it kills me because if I put a status, like if I was to put a status on Facebook right now and I was to say something like, and y'all know I do something like this too. If I say something like, if she ain't got
this, is the sound on, you guys?
Just cut out real fast.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Okay.
It's not the mic.
Just keep going.
Okay. So that's like me saying, shorty ain't got a job making this much an hour, or if she ain't got, that's like me saying, if shorty working the 9 to 5, I ain't rocking with her because I don't work a 9 to 5. If shorty ain't working, if shorty working the 9 to 5, that means she ain't her own boss.
Right.
Which means if I want to go take a vacation, she got to ask her boss, and she may be told, no, well, I can't rock with that. That was a bad example, but that's like me asking Shorty. That's like me telling Shorty, you gotta have this, you gotta have that, and I ain't got it. Like me, I don't work a 9 to 5. I work for myself. I do everything, on my own. You know what I'm saying? So I can ask for that. I can ask that. If Shorty,
what do you mean?
Meaning, like the example we both gave earlier.
Is the sound back on, you guys? Okay, it's back on. Cool. Thank you, Jaime.
Damn, how long was it out?
No, it just went off for a little bit.
It's like the example we gave earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Destiny, that's true.
Right, and that's what we're trying to. Hopefully, in 2020, we're getting people to understand. At least on my stance, is that I want people to understand self accountability. Like, we're so quick to ask somebody else to have everything under the sun, and either we're not in the process of getting it, or you know what? Again, it's entitlement. We've talked about entitlement. We've talked about people on social media with entitlement. But relationship entitlement gives a person the believed notion that it's okay to ask for the moon when you can't even get, half a sun. And it's not cool. We need to really change that behavior. At least, let me not say we, because that's what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm working on that shit. I ain't got time to be asking somebody to take me to Red Lobster, if I can't afford Red Lobster or I don't have it's expected. We've talked about this before. There's a difference between, and then people always want to sit and talk about, bitch, pick a struggle. Either you want chivalry or you want independence. You can't have both. And that's both men and women doing this. Well, it's more women I see.
Yeah. Say it confidently, man. Say it confidently.
Well, again, I am glad I'm in my community, because if something go down, me and him, we can duke it out. No problems. Not that I'm that kind of person, but I'm saying it's like, women, some of you guys are really undecisive, and you really have it bad not being able to see. So for me, I feel that I can see things on both sides with the men's side and the women. Women are more intellectual and they lead with their feelings and things. Men are just very impulsive. So a woman may get mad if, I needed my door open and things like that. But then the basis of equality is
come open my door.
Right.
Hey, come open my door. That's what a man does. It's 2019. I want my door open. What else you say? Trading places? What I say?
219.
I'm still stuck in the past, y'all. Oh, wait. Thanks for the correction. It's 2020. I just can't let go. But
but it's convenience because a woman, and I see that a lot with even with transgenders and some of the gay men and things like that, is I see we want everybody to respect us, but the main thing that's missing is that we are not respecting ourselves. We can't ask somebody anywhere to respect us on any level or platform if we are not respecting ourselves. That goes for blacks, that goes for Latinos, that goes for men, that goes for women. We need to really take a step back, and when we sit and holler about something, realize, again, it goes back to the simplest of principles. Treat people the way you want to be treated. I can't ask you to respect me if all I'm doing is making a fool of myself, talking about, know your pronouns. Well, bitch, you don't even know how to spell pronouns. But that's a whole different story.
So let me ask you this question.
Uh-huh.
I see on my timeline, a lot of people in your community, they'll put up a meme.
Stop saying my community.
Well, look, that's faster than saying the LGBTQ community. Right. I'm sorry. I can't say the gay community because then I'm leaving out women.
Okay.
So that's why.
You can say another community.
Man. Look, the LGBTQ community.
Yes, sir.
That shit is too damn long. I see them posting, let's say memes and pictures, rainbow, and then it says gay pride. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I started seeing, I'm sure you saw this as well.
Yes.
Straight individuals posting up a meme, and it says,
roll up my sleeve. I've been waiting on this. I told you that. Come on, finish with it.
And I see them, and it says straight pride. Mm-hmm. Now, why is it that the LGBTQ community gets so upset when the heterosexual community, when they put that up there? Mm-hmm. Why can't we be equal?
Okay. That is a sense. You at the period or the comma? Because I'm ready to go in.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So my stance on that is, first of all, the people who are saying it are ignorant. Because what they're saying is, why can't we don't have to say straight pride. And my thing is, you don't have to say it because it's implied. Just like there is white privilege, there's heterosexual privilege.
And there's
comma. Mm-hmm. There is heterosexual privilege. Something that's simple. I was watching Legacies on the CW, a teenage show. They're 16 years old. What do they do in between time? They fucking. It's a natural thing. But the heterosexuals have made same-sex attracted people feel so bad for something that you guys do naturally. Now, the same thing, the reason why pride was implied for the LGBT community is back in, I'm going to go back because I'm giving out lessons right now, baby. Hold on to your hot sauce. Back in New York, when they had the first Stonewall riots, the riots were because the police officers were coming to the bars and busting up the transgenders and drag queens for being who we were. It got to a point where we could no longer take being discriminated and targeted. The same way African Americans went to white people who had white privilege.
Yeah, but
so the same, and I didn't mean to say it like that, Jake, but because it's bugged. Because the person I saw was Gimp from the Goody Mob, and his reaction, it wasn't, "Oh, we should be equal." It was, "Well, let us do it too," because what I see is X, Y, and Z. Now, given the fact that in today's society, the meaning of LGBTQ pride has taken a backseat to what it was for, just like what it means to be Black or African American. The people now take it as different. They think it as a show. And yes, I've been to pride festivals where they were half naked or things like that. Again, the only way to make a difference between who I am and who you are is whom we have sex with. So I don't think there is a need for heterosexual pride because it's everywhere you go, just like there's white privilege.
How can you say that, though?
What do you mean?
How can you say you don't feel it's a need for that? That's like us saying, well, we don't feel it's a need for you guys to say is gay pride.
Wait,
hold on.
Okay.
That was a comma.
Okay. I'm gonna get the semicolon.
What I'm saying is, you being in the gay community, feel it's okay for you. Outside of my community, you feel it's okay for you to say that it's unnecessary that the heterosexuals do it. But we can't say. When I say we, I mean heterosexuals. We can't even feel like it's not okay for you guys.
Because your reasoning behind this are
you
false.
Cannot say that for everybody.
Okay,
because some
right.
people. Okay, all right. Now, whatever dude from Goody Mob did, whatever his intentions were, cool. But some people, like some people on my timeline, who really feel like, okay, well, if it's okay for them to do it, then it's okay for us to do it too.
And they're not correct because, again, the whole purpose of any pride, whether it's the reason why we started the NAACP, the reason why we have separate award ceremonies, whether it be Latino, whether it be Armenian, is because there is blatantly known white privilege. And other people do not see the heterosexual privilege that you guys have. Again, I'm watching something as simple as a teen show, and the first thing that they do, and they fucking.
Man, let me be.
And how do you think? Why is that? Why is it okay? And you guys always have to say you're forcing your agenda on us, or we're forcing our agenda on you. Why do I have to watch a show about teenagers? And it's fucking on the CW.
You don't have
Whoever
to.
the writers is. You're right. I don't have to. But why is it that but that's a privilege. When you don't see it and somebody else does, it's automatically assumed when someone says, "Oh, who are you dating?" You're automatically assumed that you're a heterosexual, which may not be the case. I'm not saying you. People automatically, they have that heterosexual privilege.
But so you mean to tell in 2020?
And again, the whole purpose of the pride was to separate and show greatness in who we are when we were not being respected. The same way African Americans did, the same way women have stepped up to say this is an injustice. That's why we had pride. Now, what people see today and is it's a watered down form of pride because a lot of these young queens don't even know what it means. You couldn't tell them what Stonewall is. So yes, I get that. You guys are talking about what you see on TV and all that shit twerking at 13 and stuff like that. I even think that I personally do not agree with that. Just like we talked about Dwayne Wade's son. Let him be old enough to choose what he does. He's at a vulnerable age right now. So yes, I don't agree with him wearing the nails, but again, that's not my child, so I can't say. But again, the purpose of pride was to show who we are. That's just like Black History Month is about to come up. There are very few people who knew that the man who helped Martin Luther King Jr. was an openly Black gay man. You see how the whole history of Black same gender loving people has been erased, just like the history of Black people are erased. It wasn't until I got into college that I learned these things. Like I learned everything because when you're in high school and college, all you're reading is slavery in the 70s and that's it. There's a whole history. African Americans who are same-sex attracted have contributed so much to our society. But again, heterosexual will try to erase that because they're ashamed, just like whites try to erase the contributions of African Americans.
Now, let me go ahead and since you're so stern with the whole there's a such thing as what you say straight privilege.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you about your gay privilege.
Okay.
Because I don't think you realize how powerful you motherfuckers are. I don't really think
When I tell you about the motherfucker?
We ain't never talked about that.
I told you I'm not a motherfucker. I've never fucked anyone's mother.
Man.
I am.
Let me tell you how powerful and privileged Your community is. Okay?
Did we just get...
God damn. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what previous episodes, you never know what they said. You can't say your community, you can't say you can't say he, you can't say she.
But you
can't
like somebody saying you guys and they talking about a group of black folks?
Come on, man. If it's a group of black people right there and one person has said you guys, then yeah, that's who you're referring to. I'm referring to the LGBTQ. I don't want to say all them damn syllables. I don't want to say all that shit.
Right. Someone on here, my very close friend Bridget, says, I am a hetero, and I think straight pride is so stupid and silly and is gimmicky. Right.
And she has that right. But let me finish saying what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how powerful your community, oh my God, here's how powerful the LGBTQ community is. I'm not saying that all the time, bro. I'm telling you. Don't get offended. I'm sorry. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not saying it all the time.
We're just going to have to hold up like a little I'm going to give you a little rainbow something. Right? And they're going to make me to say, Jake got rainbows now.
So, we good. All right. Don't worry.
Hey, I know we got so...
y'all knew I was coming back. I want to get to my point. All right, so check it out. Let me, once again, for the third time, tell you how privileged that community is. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the other day I was watching Kevin Hart's, talking about
the pygmy.
Whatever it is, it's called Don't Fuck This Up on Netflix. Mm-hmm. The last episode 6. Episode 6 was the whole what was the Oscars? The whole Oscars incident that went on with the LGBTQ community coming at Kevin Hart for what he said now 11 years ago, but 10 years ago at that time. Your community, the community.
Now remember, because it probably was the white community.
Well, I mean, from what they showed it. They showed it was all white. It was all white. It was white people, but it's still the same thing. Mm-hmm. Regardless if it's white or black, it's still the same thing. All you have to do is say one thing, or pull up something from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you could end a motherfucker's career that fast, or ruin their career that fast. For you to say that there's so much straight, what's the word you used again?
Straight privilege.
Privilege, that wasn't the word you used.
Yes, it was.
Okay. For you to use straight privilege, for you to say it's so much straight privilege, but not even step back and think like, damn, you know what? Technically, if I wanted to, I could end such and such career with just a word. Why? Because if I say one thing, we all going to stand together. Or go, hold on. Just because some blacks may not stand with them, what I'm saying is, as the LGBTQ community, let's just say 10 blacks won't, but the other 100,000 will. What I'm saying is, your community is that powerful and that privileged to where now straight people gotta watch how we speak. You see how hard it is for me to even say what I want to say because I don't know what's going to offend y'all. You know what I'm saying? So the LGBTQ community is so powerful now to where if I was to say the wrong thing accidentally, that could literally ruin my career. That's bullshit for one.
Okay.
You got a problem with that? I don't care. I feel like that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And you shouldn't have that much power. I feel like if it's something that I said before I became the man that I am today, because the best the best behavior is change behavior. Can you agree? Okay. And if I change my behavior and something that you pulled up 15 to 20 years ago that I said, and you want to bring that up because now I'm hosting the Oscars or I'm getting ready to host the Grammys or whatever, and now you want to go dig and find something, and you actually feel like if you put that out there, you don't feel like that if you put that out there, your community is going to stand behind that tweet or stand behind that status and any hopes and dreams that I had of hosting anything because the LGBTQ community, I want to hear what they got to say too. Right. Because the LGBTQ community won't let you grow. They won't let us grow. They won't let us be. They won't let us be who we are today. They want us to pay for who we were 10 years ago. See, I watched that episode. If you ain't seen it yet, go on Netflix. It's called "Don't Fuck This Up," episode 6. See, that shit pissed me off, especially Yeah, man.
Okay. So someone else said the same thing that I'm thinking. Hamay said the same thing. Power and privilege are two different things. And the flip side of that...
You got both.
there's both. There's a yin and a yang to it. Just like when, and it's so funny to hear straight people in their defense. It's the same things that whites did to
Come
us.
on, but we're not. We got to leave whites out of it.
No, but we can't
because we're talking about
in
our
order
community.
for you to understand what I'm saying, in order to understand why there is a gay pride, you have to understand how people have put us at a disadvantage. Whether it's men doing it to women, whether it's whites doing it to blacks and Latinos, there has always been a power struggle where one group of people thinks they have it more or better than the other. Privilege and power is two different things. So and also I think the basis of what's being said is that he was not accountable, or he didn't realize how detrimental his words were.
It was 10 fucking years ago. It was 10 years ago, regardless.
There's not an accountability?
No, it shouldn't be for what
Why
you
not?
said. Let me tell you why. Because if you grow and become somebody else, why do you want me to live in the past on who I once was? He's hired gay men and women, bisexual, whatever. He has goddamn. He has LGBTQ people on his staff. Hold on, wait. Time out.
That doesn't mean he respects them.
Time out. Let me tell you why. I believe he does.
Okay.
Let me tell you why I believe he does. Because 10 years ago, he didn't have them. So now that he got them and they love him so much, they clearly say, they tell you, they say it in the show. Kevin, I know who you are now. I know you love me. I know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that for something I said 15 years ago, you won't let me grow and stay who I am now? You want me to live in the past? You want me and let's just speak on this real quick. How many times you got to apologize for the same thing? Because he's already addressed it. He's already apologized. I know we talked about this episode 1, but since that show just came out the other day, he's already addressed it and he apologized within the past 10 years. Why, when he's hosting the Oscars, they feel like, well, you know what you apologized for in the past, not good enough. We want to hear it again before you do this. And the Academy, had they not heard all that, from your community, from the LGBTQ community, they would have just, they would not have even thought nothing of it. They said,
but Jake, you have to realize this is bigger than Kevin Hart as an individual. You are not looking at the ploy that people have used.
Bro, I'm talking about you bringing up stuff from the past and trying to make people relive their past and not let us grow into who we are and who we want to be.
Jake, it has nothing to do. The front of it was gays versus Kevin Hart. The underline of it was they didn't want that man to host the academies, whether he had said something racist or homophobic. You have to understand everything is a ploy. And we've talked about this before, that there is division. Division is when you use race, you use sexual orientation, you use religion, or you use politics. Why do you think it's a witch hunt for people? It had nothing to primarily do with what he said. Yes, he said that 10 years ago. Just like when we first started talking, Jake, we talked about the whole Black Panther thing. And the person who wrote the article was a white gay person. Their ploy was to divide the black, gay, and straight people. The ploy, again, was to take this black man who is doing what he does and use it as a surface. You have to see the fluffer. You have to look beyond what people are giving us, just like this whole war is not about what it is. It really is. There's so much underlying shit going on. So you and your community has taken it a stance because y'all don't like us already as it is.
Don't speak for everybody.
Okay, but I'm saying your community.
Okay.
You guys don't like us as it is.
Y'all don't like us.
Anything, right. So and the basis of all that, we don't like ourselves. How about that?
I love myself.
What I'm saying is anytime you can try to, and I'm not talking about you, call in, yes. Didn't hear any of that dialogue.
I'm on.
Okay.
You're cut out for like 30 seconds.
Okay.
People make the problem.
Right. What I'm saying is that yes, that may be the surface of it. Just like this whole war, there's more to it than that. But people want to jump on bandwagons or jump on what their eyes are seeing and not using their mind when things go down. I have to constantly tell people, just like when we had the whole police officers killing blacks and everything like that, and every black person wants to. I have an uncle who's a police officer, born and raised in the hood. You can't pigeonhole a group of people for the misdeeds of some. That is how you divide. And that's how you get conquered, is that you automatically look, every white person I know is not racist. Every heterosexual person like yourself is not homophobic. Every gay person is not heterophobic. We are using that as a ploy and not looking at the agenda underneath it. And yes, we can all get heated and everything like that, but what was it underneath? They didn't want Kevin Hart, regardless. He could have said something about women with small titties. Then all of a sudden you would have had a flock of heifers with small titties coming out. The fact that that was used to get him away from what they didn't want him to do. We just happen to be the fall guys. Just like black people happen to be the fall guys. Look at the underline in all situations.
That makes sense.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. I get it. I mean, I understand that. But my question is, why do the gay community feel like it's okay to do that?
Who said we feel like it's okay?
Man, come on, bro.
Why do white people feel that it's okay to hold down black people?
Come on, man. All right, look, we talking about the straight community versus the gay
But
community.
no, you can never understand. There's a parallel, Jake. The parallel is people who feel that they have a power over a group of people will do anything. That's
Why
just
do
like,
you feel like you have that power?
Who said I have? Who
Not
said,
you. Why
right.
does the gay community feel like why do they feel like they have that power? Why?
Because we're taking, I don't say, and I can't speak for who these people are. I can only speak for myself. And what I'm saying is that look at the underlying issue. It's not about, just like you don't see the detriment that straight black people do to same-sex attracted people. When I hear these conversations, when I hear every excuse why they feel that we're less than, is the same parallel conversations white has to blacks and browns. We don't deserve to be here. We're nothing. You want to base everything on our sex. None of us, the whole 13 weeks that we've done this show, none of us in the hour that we're here are fucking. That doesn't make me any less gay, and it doesn't make you any less straight. But people will use that as a ploy to distract from what's going on. We are two men having a conversation. The whole point of this show is that. But somebody will see it as more to that. None of us are fucking. None of us have fucked the whole time that we're on this show. Why am I defined by my sexual orientation or my likes? I haven't had sex for a long time. Does it make me any less gay? I have never been to jail. Does not make me any less black. What I'm saying is that there are groups of people who feel they have it better than another group. You have the educated who feel they're better than the uneducated. It's always somebody out there, the crabs in the barrel syndrome, who will try to bring down another group, whether it's darks versus lights, whether it's rich for people who have, it's always a system of people thinking that they're better than, and you can take whatever adjective you want to use, color, race, size. You got folks out there upset that Adele is losing weight. The fuck? But yet y'all was the same bitches out there, oh, she's too big. People are never satisfied, and when they feel they have a power over somebody, regardless of what it is, they will speak.
So when we speak against that power that they feel they have, then we're homophobic.
There's a difference between speaking of being homophobic and saying what's right. Again, everything that a black person does, I do not agree with. You have to, again, look at the underlying situation of what's going on. Who defines if it's
right or if it's wrong? Let me ask you that.
That is a good question.
I know. That's why I thought of it.
I can only say what I feel is right, whether it's someone being heterophobic, whether it's someone being misogynist, whether it's someone being racist. You have some black people who refuse to do certain things because, oh, that's white. You sound stupid as hell. You have not allowed yourself to experience something else because you're trying to hold somebody accountable for something they did over 400 years ago. Some of my best supporters and friends are heterosexual white people. I get better support from them than my so-called people of color and my so-called SGL people. Look at the individual. We are all individuals. We all subscribe to some group. But at the end of the day, when I go to bed, I'm Armond Anderson-Bell. Yep. I am no longer a gay man. All those things encompass who I am. But when it comes down to it, I'm a person. I'm a human being.
You say look at the individual.
Yes.
But in certain situations, you cannot just look at the individual.
Well, look at the individuals because everything, Jake, you've never been to...
Okay, look, you said individuals. That makes it a group, right? That makes it a group.
But they're separate then, just like every black person ain't been to jail. I've never been to jail. I'll be 41 in a couple of weeks. Does not make me any less black. I have to walk down the street and step to the side of bitches trying to hide their purse because they feel they saw what's on TV and they think I want their purse. Bitch, I would rather have your purse than what's in your purse. But I have to deal with that racism. Because someone else has an idea of what they think when they see the exterior of me as a black man. I have to deal with ignorant-ass heterosexual who think I want them because I'm same-sex attracted.
And you think we don't got to deal with ignorant-ass gay people?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes, you. Okay. I'm not saying you don't. I've dealt with you, Jake, as an individual when I met you. Dex dealt with me as an individual when he hired me. We all have stereotypes, and unfortunately, every stereotype has a nugget of truth. It's up to us as individuals to not be that stereotype and to live and to try to show people there are teaching moments everywhere we go. I could be that bitter person who is heterophobic, who is a racist, who is sizophobic. I am not, because I know what it feels like to be discriminated on every level that I can think of. I choose to approach people as a person. If I see somebody with one arm, hey bitch, what's up? What's going on? Because I have taken the step to step aside from what society says I should do. I have friends who are prostitutes, hoes, criminals, all kinds of stuff. I have friends who are white, all kinds of stuff. Anybody who's ever known me cannot say I have friends all over, because I value a person more than I value on what's the surface. I have friends with millions of dollars. I have friends with no money. Just like I want them to respect me, I do the same to them. And I gauge them and interact with them on that level.
323-577-7630. How we doing on time? Okay, 323-577-7630. If you want to call in, say something.
Call in, you guys.
Give your, you want to, whatever it is you want to talk about, whatever you want to say, you want to touch on what we're talking about right now. You
want to add to it. And again, we are individuals. I'm not going to look at you any different. That's the whole point. That was the whole point of this show, is to show people to have, and I'm so grateful. I've been reading a lot of the comments on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, and things like that. And what I set out to do, or people are seeing it, they're seeing that individuals can have a conversation, be themselves. And again, as the show suggests, we agree to disagree. Doesn't make me think any less of you. It doesn't make me think any more of you. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, be heated as well as you. That's what we need to do in this society, is learn to listen more, learn to interact with each other, and base our interactions upon the person, not what stereotype, not what history, not what other people say. We miss out. We miss our blessing, and we miss the blessing of being friends with another person, our associates, because we're so busy caught up with who they go to bed with, who they don't go to bed with. Hell, you a vegan. I still like my chicken. Shit. I'm not going to look at you any different. You've told me that. Okay, I respect your veganism and things like that. I respect your veganism because I respect my individualism. That's all there is to it. That's all there. And if more people got on that bandwagon, instead of looking at who the latest Kardashian is, who's on Instagram, like, that really blew my mind. That first you had folks who were complaining that Lizzo is doing too much for a big girl. Now you have folks literally complaining that Adele, I like Adele when she's, and that's all on Wendy Williams today too. They were talking about, I like Luther when he was bigger. Did y'all ever ask, did Luther like himself when he was bigger? Did you ever ask Adele, did she like herself when she was bigger? Why do people feel that it's okay? You talk about her when she was big. You talked about her like a doll. Says she had the little dress that looked like she wore it looked like the carpet or the couch from somebody's grandmama's house. Now, whatever the reason is, whether it's health reasons, stress, the divorce, whatever, she's losing weight. She's being a better her. But folks are in their feelings, and they feel they have the right to tell her, you should go back to being big. But yet, if she went back to being big, you're too big. Bitch, y'all never satisfied.
I feel like it's so easy. Well, I'm sorry. It's so hard to be a straight black male in the industry. I feel like it's tough. I say that because me, any other celebrity, whatever, whoever. I'm not a celebrity yet, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. We feel like we got to walk on eggshells with certain things that we say, certain things that we,
Well, don't say shit that's disrespectful.
No, time out. But see, that's the thing. Do you feel like Kevin Hart? You told me that what the LGBTQ community did to Kevin Hart was bullshit, right?
Yes.
That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Because you felt like that, right?
Yes.
So how am I supposed to know if I say something is disrespectful? You may not feel like that, but them 40,000 people over there may feel like that. So how are we supposed to know? Okay, well, I don't want to offend. I don't want to say this because then it may offend the mass in that community. It may not offend you,
okay,
but it may offend these trolls out here. Or it may offend, this group of people over here. It may offend this group of LGBTQ community people over there. It may offend them. Okay. It's like we don't know. Like comedy ain't really even funny no more. Like the community, the LGBTQ community is literally taking away comedy.
Why do you say it's the LGBT? Because it's anybody who has a platform.
Let me tell you why I say that.
Okay.
How long? Let's go to women. Kevin Hart probably called a girl a bitch probably 50 in every sentence in his stand up. Every sentence on every one of them. He refers to his girl. Bitch, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know it's jokes, whatever. It's jokes. They don't get offended. I've never heard a black girl say he's calling these girls bitches too many times. Da, 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 da.
You haven't?
No, I have not.
You haven't?
No.
Okay, now, again.
Hold on. There's a comma, not a period. So, I never heard black women come out against Kevin Hart for saying that. I've never heard white people come out against no comedian, or I'm going to just say Kevin Hart, since I'm speaking on Kevin Hart, for speaking about white people. But, kind of like what Charlamagne's saying, the oppressor cannot make jokes or come at the oppressed, the oppressed, we could joke on the oppressor. I get it. So I only hear the gay community coming out, saying whatever it is they got an issue with. Comedy. It's supposed to be funny. Okay? It is not serious. Okay? Now, I cannot tell you what to take serious. And I know they're gonna get offended. That's okay. I can't tell you what to take serious or not. But if we know that, what's that movie? School Days.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what you're trying to say.
No, but School Days. That's what like Spike Lee and Lawrence.
Yeah.
That movie wouldn't be able to come out this time. This air, School Days wouldn't even be able to air.
What part?
I ain't saying this. The part where the fraternity was stepping and, they were saying certain things.
The hazing? Or you?
No, not that part.
Okay.
What I'm saying is certain movies from back then won't be able to come out in today's era.
So do you remember what Kevin Hart said?
Yes, he said, 10 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, he said, and it's not verbatim, but he said if his son was gay, he would take his daughter's dollhouse and beat him over the head with it.
Okay. That's it right there. You don't see people being ostracized for being called a bitch. You don't see people dying or killing themselves at 16, 15, 14, 13 years old.
You're not about to use that.
No. Because Jake, you just said that you try to parallel people using the word bitch, versus the offensive and detrimental words that Kevin Hart used. That's not funny. When you have people who have died, who have killed themselves, who have parents. I even showed you the meme that somebody had a little boy in the bed. He said, "Dad, I think I'm gay," on his deathbed. And the next panel, the father unplugged it with a tear in his eye, says, "We get pussy in this house." You will never see a person kill themselves for being called a bitch. That is why we are coming at Kevin Hart anyway, because what he said and is now being seen more than ever, people have died. People have committed suicide just for them. They may not even have had sex, but the indentation that they are same-sex attracted, they are put out their house.
And you're making it seem like the gay community are the only ones committing suicide or being murdered because they're gay, bro. It's not. That's not. Say what you got to say. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that too. I was going to say, I know he's saying, you try to say don't bring up the race thing, but I think that the one thing that I had to say when I watched that with Jake, I actually was on Jake's side about it because it was very frustrating to watch because they're like, oh, like, he doesn't understand. We got bullied for this. And I'm like, I get it. But it's like they're forgetting Kevin Hart's a black man who also probably has dealt with a lot of stuff as a black man. And I don't know.
But then he made true. He's also a black man. I'm a black man, and I know what it's like. So why do it to somebody else? You guys don't understand the impact. Just like we know what it's like to be lynched, the same thing he's saying, that's the detrimental part, is what he said. People have killed themselves. Do you know the suicide rate for young people?
I would understand if he... Go ahead.
Last thing, the only thing I'm going to say is I think the other thing is he's a comedian. So, like, there's so many jokes about black people, white people, gays, whatever, straight.
Midgets.
And I think they're forgetting that he's a comedian. So...
They're not forgetting. Forgetting.
Well, I just think the only thing that bothers me about it is that I feel like people are being so too sensitive towards Kevin Hart. I don't know about anybody else, but towards what Kevin Hart did, especially the fact that it was years ago and he apologized for it.
Right.
10 years later, he hasn't said no gay jokes for 10 years, and they're making it seem
that's
like it's
my issue, Armond.
But did you not go back to what I said? You're looking at the surface of it. This was a loophole to get him. They would have found, if Kevin Hart talked about bitches with ugly nipples, then there would have been a whole group. You're not understanding that is a ploy to divide. This ploy just so happened to be the gays. Just like now we in this whole war over something that we didn't do. You're not looking at the overall picture. People are caught up. Yes, what he said was wrong. Yes, he could have been. He apologized. I get that.
Let me say,
but
it wasn't
you're
wrong.
not understanding.
It wasn't wrong.
You're
and
not
you can hold this and you can hold it against me once I'm rich and famous. It wasn't wrong. Let me tell you why it wasn't wrong. Because he didn't say, if I see a gay person out in the streets, I'm going to take this dollhouse and beat him over the head with it. He said, my son. You cannot tell somebody how to think or feel about their son. Nor can your community do that. I'm sorry, you can't. You can't do that. If he said it about his kid, now if he said that about a stranger or somebody that's out in the open, somebody else, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Because now, okay, you made it a little more than just inside your home. But if Kevin Hart don't want his son to be gay, he has every right to feel that way. Because it's his right. Why do people in the LGBTQ community feel like you have the right to tell other people how to feel? That's a problem I have.
So everybody, you're right. We're supposed to grow up to be ignorant ass motherfuckers like y'all, right?
Ooh.
Say that again.
That's what
repeat
because
what
you're saying that
what you said.
I said you want us to be ignorant ass people like y'all. That is what you black men do.
No, see, and that's what you gay men do. You try to say, look, bro, my thing is, if Kevin Hart said in his stand up, yeah, I'm smashing I'm giving my woman anal, and then I'm making her. If anybody who know me that's watching this, hold on, no, hold on. There's a comma. Let me put this out there. I love all y'all, but this is different Jake.
Your
right now.
sentence placement is wrong.
That's okay. No, if Kevin Hart say, I'm giving my girl anal, and then I'm gonna make her, and then she gonna give me head. If he put that out there, time out. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. If what he does in his house, if that, like, would anybody feel outraged over that? Would anybody feel outraged over what Kevin Hart does sexually with his wife? Let me just say that because, hey, I wish we could edit that part out. Can anybody feel?
You mean the way that y'all try to tell us what to do in our house?
Stop doing that.
Why?
No, and quit saying y'all. Just like you said. Okay. Don't generalize it because you have yet to answer my question.
No, because you're trying to bring up a point.
I'm telling you that if that man if he don't want his son gay, he has every single right as a father, the one who's providing for that child. If he says, I don't want my son to be gay, he has every right. Now, if his son turns out gay, then there's nothing Kevin Hart can do about that. But he can still feel, like I said, the LGBTQ community feel like you guys have the right to tell us how to feel. That's like you're trying to be controlling.
Wait a minute, you need to calm yourself down.
That's
Jay.
like you guys are being controlling. It's like
you guys don't control telling us how we.
Can I just say one more thing to end this? Okay, I obviously, because I'm a woman, I'm gonna just come in and say this.
And I play one on TV.
And he plays one on TV.
Hey, y'all act like y'all didn't hear that dumbass example I just used. It was bad. I'm ashamed.
Put this out there. I don't know. This probably may not end your guys' conversation. I think where his anger is probably coming
They don't know
from,
who you mean by here. Say my
where
name.
where Jake's anger is probably coming from is because I know the LGBTQ community fought to get certain rights like being married, and I feel like in 2020 it's a little bit different now. Like it's easier for someone to be open now about it versus like years ago. The issue that a lot of heterosexual people have is that the community is asking for too much. It's almost the point, like even me, if I see a guy and he has a wig on and then he has a beard and I said, oh yeah, he said, and if I say it's an issue. And it's like, I feel like it's getting to the point where the community started to ask for too much, and that's where people's anger is coming from, because it's like, all right, you guys have your freedom now, like you're able to get married and everything that you've asked for you have, but now it's like now they're trying to take things away from what women can do, like getting pregnant and all this stuff, and it's like
you can no longer say pregnant women. You now got to say pregnant people.
There's certain
That's
things,
dumb.
and it's almost like the community's trying to take over everything, and it's like, sheesh, like we love you guys, but like now you're trying to have power over us, and it almost feels like it's and that coming from my point of view, it is a little frustrating sometimes too. And I'm a girl, so like, you know, we're kind of more sensitive towards that stuff, but. Someone's calling.
That's not. Hold on, Betty. You have to call in the call line.
That was my thing.
I get what you're saying, but anytime any group has the audacity to say what a person is asking for is too much, has to look back. The same sentence and the same structure can be said for women and their liberation. Can be said for when blacks decided to step out on their own. That's what I don't get is. Why is it's always a power struggle, but yet we're not doing anything different because people based who we are on our sex? It's not as important. We see all the stuff women are asking for. We see all the stuff that Native Americans have asked for. We see all the stuff that people who were marginalized have asked for. When the NAACP was formed, do you not think white people said, y'all doing too much? Do you not think when this whole Me Too movement started, the men were saying, y'all doing too much? It's the same thing. It's the crab in a barrel syndrome. And we're looking at it as a division.
I think the only difference is, though, is that when people with the ends, whatever, like all these groups that black people and other stuff was formed, I don't think it still affects people's lives. Having the unisex bathrooms and doing stuff like that, it can affect people's lives, because now it's like, anyone can go in any bathroom, and with all the sexual harassment and stuff happening, like that does affect people's lives. So I feel like with the LGBTQ community, it's hard to say that, with that community, I think that's the only thing, is that it affects everyone. So It's not like there's little certain groups that's formed. It's like
and everything we're looking at the small and the negative side. But again, everything, just like blacks come on. Oh, we got blacks in the neighborhood now. Just like reverse gentrification right now is reversing what blacks did when we started. The first man who owned his own bank, when he stepped out on that, what did the white people say? He doing too much. So all I'm saying is that every instance there is a good and there is a bad going on. You can't blame every black person, because people have made it seem like all we do is rob, we cheat, we steal, we things like that. People have made it see, I've never done those things. Am I not black? That's just a bad side of me being African American. People automatically assume that you're less intelligent, that you have no say because the bad deeds of individuals in our group. That's all I'm saying. What you're saying is true. And also the people that are doing these bad things are not the transgenders that I know. There's somebody who's using that as a ploy to get, just like predators are now using social media. Most people who are predators or pedophiles or things like that, they're not same-sex attracted. And if they are, that's an individual thing. You can't blame the group over the misdeeds of a few people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we went over a little bit, but y'all know towards the end it always start getting good. But that is our time. We did go over about 5 minutes.
We're gonna have to do this again.
I was gonna say part 2. Let's do part 2 next week.
Well, no, I mean something, because a lot of the dialogue is missing.
Yeah, a lot of people said they didn't hear.
I'll explain it after this.
Okay. So really quick, I have to round up really quick. Jake and I are really excited. We're bringing it 2020 coming full speed. Every fourth Tuesday of the month, I'm doing an interview section. We're going to have in-studio guests on a segment called Purposely on Purpose. I'm looking for people who are entrepreneurs, who are entertainers, who've stepped out on the faith of what normally said they shouldn't do, and have made a way for themselves, turning their passion into profit. So if that's you or someone you like to know, give us a call. We already have a few guests lined up for the next couple of months, but I'm really excited to share with people the step process. A lot of times when people see a business owner or entertainer or an actor, they look at the surface and they're not looking at the backbone, the sweat and tears it took that person. If you're a business owner, all those things. So this will give people an opportunity to share with other people what transpired from ground zero to where they are now. So if you or someone else you know would love to be here in the studio, give us a call, give us a text. We're interviewing. Jake and I are also going to be doing Man on the Street questions. We got some stuff lined up. We are going to try to do more content on all of our social media sites.
All right. So, thank you, everybody. For those in the LA area, LA, Long Beach, LA County, whatever, next Saturday and next Sunday, I'm currently doing theater right now and I have the lead role in this play. And we are performing starting next week, Saturday and Sunday as of now. So if you want to attend, hit me in my DM or on the DM on one of my pages. And then I'll send you the link. But we're closing it out. Thank you. This is episode 13. Good work. Agree to Disagree Talk. It's your boy Charles Jake Johnson. You can find me on Instagram at the letter C Jake Johnson. That's C Jake Johnson. And you can find me on Facebook at Jake Technique Johnson.
And I am your host, Armond Anderson-Bell. Excuse me. You can find me on all social media at Armond, ARMOND. The number is 143. Also, please we are on all streaming sites. All 12 episodes are up. We're up and running. Share. If you're not able to watch us on our Facebook Live, follow us on our streaming sites on all the platforms. Share this video, like it, hit our YouTube page, our Twitter, our Instagram. Hit us individually as well as collectively.
Y'all know how I say it. Make big problems small, make small problems non-existent. If y'all heard that.